When I met you, you took my heart, took my soul, lost my mind, lost control. For all I know, you could be the best one. You take me out, take me in, show me the world, help me to sin, and you tell me I could be the best one, and you could take me there. Now I look back at the day when I met you, and I feel old, heart is cold, life is so I'm told. And I feel this way, the more I stay, the more I say, I feel this way, I beg and pray to feel this way, and I know but that's thanks to you. And now I look back at the day when you left me. It was for you, tell the truth, you know I'm through. I've been to other times, you could be my last one. And I know I, up through here, into the heart, push back to the soul, gonna tell you I could be the best one, and you could take me there. Now I look back at the day when you left me, and I feel old, heart is cold, life is so I'm told. And I feel this way, the more I stay, the more I say, I feel this way, I beg and pray to feel this way, and I know that's thanks to you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of BAEKOCRAFT. How about that guitar solo, man? If you haven't heard of Bear Lake, go check them out. They're down in the description below. Absolutely awesome band. Been kind enough to let me use their music in just about every video that I've put up on the channel that has a song with lyrics, if you will. Also King Comrade, essentially the same band. So give them some love. Check them out on Spotify and on YouTube. They're absolutely fantastic. But last episode we did the exterior for this combination candle shop and house. And we started off by trying to fit a bee farm into the interior. And while the video may have made it look easy, it was an absolute nightmare trying to fit the thing in, partly because we were trying to fit a farm into a space that we had predetermined instead of making sure we knew the footprint of the farm and building the footprint to accommodate. But also because the tutorial wasn't modular. It's a good tutorial, it's a good farm. The way my brain works, I want to know how one portion of the farm works, how one slice works. And then I'll just build as many as I need or want. And instead, this tutorial just showed how to build the entire thing in one go. And you build it up differently. And I wanted a different number than they had, so it kind of threw me off. And I spent way too much time on that darn thing, but we finally got it working, and I'll include the link in the description. It's still a great farm. Very glad that video exists. I had a lot of fun last episode, just kind of talking over the footage, and so we're going to kind of do some hybrid of that format and the usual format. So here we are. I must have rebuilt this stinking shelving unit a dozen times. and that was the one that made it into the video, but there were a lot of takes of that. I'd build it, I'd get it wrong, I'd restart. But I'm really, really happy with how it came together, and I love, filling the candle shop with candles. It just, it's on the nose, but it looks good, and candles are just a gorgeous way of decorating and lighting up your spaces. And so from there, once we got the shop pretty base well set up, we moved to the upper level, and I am not good at, it's not that I'm not good. Interior design does not come natural to me in Minecraft. It actually comes pretty natural to me in real life. But building interiors is something that I have always struggled with. But I'm really enjoying learning how to do it better and coming up with my own style. A big thing that I like to do is use trapdoors, which is expensive, but it looks really good, or at least I really like it, because it gives you that quarter slab that you can work with to really, in combination with your stairs, get a nice curve, kind of round out the area. It also allows you to kind of have a panel, almost like a drywall. It doesn't come too far up off the wall, but allows for some nice texture on the wall. It also lets light in, so I like to use it at the top of those curves as a good way to hide lighting. Over here, this is going to become our kitchenette later. It's essentially the same concept, but you just got to play with the stairs and play with the curves, and it's something that I get there, but it doesn't come natural to me. It's something that's just try it, tear it down, go over and over and over again. And I'm sure over time, just like anything else, with enough practice, it'll become natural to me. But I spent a lot of time in this little corner just trying to get the details right to make it feel natural without it. Because of the blockiness of Minecraft, it can sometimes, you can take an interior and it becomes super, super small. And I don't like that. I like it to feel open and big enough to live in real life, quote unquote. If I lived there, that's kind of how I would want it to feel. I know a lot of Minecraft YouTubers will just, they have really great and really creative ways of making the most of a tight space, but it just makes me feel claustrophobic. I don't personally like my spaces to feel that way. I think it looks good when other people do it, but I don't like to exist in that kind of space, and so I feel the need to maximize the internal volume of my living spaces, if that makes any sense. So we just, going in, and it's a lot of the same thing. A lot of just trapdoors and stairs. Just trying to get the shape right, trying to make it look passable. My plan was just to have this basic living area. Looks good. Looks kind of like a hobbit hole, but, there's even dirt over in that area. Then we threw in, this is just a little dining area. It's a pretty standard bench and table, but this is, we had a table like this in the house I grew up in, where it's a big, long table with two benches on either side. And it's actually at my uncle's house now. Somehow he ended up with it. Just, family furniture getting kind of shifted around over time. And so I like that design. It's got a special place in my heart. I've played a lot of games of cards on that style of table and lost more than I've won, but it's always a good time. Now we're doing a little kitchen design over here. I spent a long time trying to figure out the perfect block to represent a stove before I remembered the furnace. Bit of an embarrassing moment, but you got to be able to laugh at yourself. Threw in a little island. We got a cauldron with some water. And then from there, just another little bit of counter space going in over here. I thought about using dark oak, but it seemed like there was a little too much dark oak. It kind of blends in together, and so I decided we'll go with some, I think we got, some spruce just to finish it off. And it's weird, because there's just as much spruce on the floor as there is dark oak on the walls, but that seemed to be the right placement for it. Now, moving up, we actually ended up with this middle section when we put the roof on the kitchenette area and the main floor. And I didn't intend for anything to go here. But when I was in there, I just really liked the lighting effects, and it just felt very kind of cozy and earth tony. I don't know. But yeah, it just reminded me of a den, a nice little man cave. And so I decided that instead of trying to find a way to just make it a transitional climbing space, we'd do something with it. We'd make a little room here. So I wanted it to be kind of the candlestick maker's kind of personal area where he can hang out. So if he's entertaining, you'd come in and you'd hang out down in the main space with the kitchen table, the dining table, and the kitchenette. And then if he's wanting to spend time on his own, we all need that kind of space where we like to hang out and have our own time. This would kind of be his space. And so that's what we made. We put that chair there just because you gotta have a good chair in a space, and put this little window in, and you'd think a red window on a wall like that would stand out, but it's actually pretty unobtrusive from the outside. Then we put in a couple taps. I thought this would be kind of cool to have some ale kegs over here. I'm a big fan of just the barrel and tripwire hook as your cask design. Wells recently put his giant cask down in the bowels of his castle, and I was screaming at the screen going, use a barrel, it gives you that rounded look. And who knows, maybe he'll go back and put it in there. And his was really great for the big size, but I'm always gonna like that smaller cask. And then we got this top area. This actually came together really well. I was very happy with it. By far the most challenging area to work with, just because the footprint has gotten tighter and tighter each time you move up. Especially after you put the ceiling on the curvature of the roof, it really limits the amount of room you have to place blocks. But I was pretty happy overall with what we came up with. Love that chimney. Big fan of that chimney. Little pat on my own back here. But yeah, we went in, we placed the white terracotta, we gave it this basic setting we had, and then we stared at it for a very long time, which we'll just skip over. And we decided, hey, we got this chimney here, we'll put in a fireplace. Probably not, OSHA compliant, but whatever. It's Minecraft, it'll do. And in the winter, when you're cold, it's nice to have a fire by the bed, so it'll keep him warm when it snows. And from there, we did the same thing that we did in all the other areas, just rounded out the roof, threw in the trapdoors, and then again, a lot of just looking around, trying to come up with inspiration. We decided to do a mangrove bench this time, or excuse me, a mangrove desk, and then a spruce chair, and that was pretty much it. Very happy with the interior. All right, so we got some things to talk about. I have gone ahead. Wrong way. I have gone ahead and created a second channel. Now I get it. You might be thinking to yourself, Baeko, you have 20 subscribers. No one's going to watch your second channel. And I don't expect you to. I am not going to put a lot of effort into my second channel. What the second channel will do is explain things like this, right? Or things like this, or things like this, right? None of this makes great content. Nor does this, right? I wanted to make some slight changes here. I wanted to have a water source, so I built a water source, and I used a backwards waterlogged slab, and then we put a tripwire hook, and boom, infinite water. Even have a little bit of, gosh darn it, That was smooth. A little bit of lore behind it. We got our cauldron catching the rainwater, and then a hopper feeding it in and around to the spigot, right? And just a little double smelter array, auto smelter, just to work up all this copper we've been collecting. There's also footage of collecting the copper and the iron and the gold, because at some point I want to get a beacon, but I don't want to use an iron farm for it. So we've just been smelting and collecting, and made this here entrance into a mine shaft. It's nothing crazy, just next time we need to go strip mining, it's going to be a little closer and more efficient. So the purpose of the second channel is to show all of that off. I'm not going to edit it. I'm not going to narrate it. It's just gameplay, because sometimes I find myself wanting to play Minecraft, but being somewhere where I don't have access to my microphone. And so I just started recording on OBS, and it's just going to be the grindy stuff that happens in between. Speaking of which, we found a mesa. It's like 5,000 blocks this way. And so we went and we did some, what's the word I'm looking for? We did some mining, right? Some caving, just to start. There we go. Just, to get all the ores for the... I have not really done a good job with this path yet. But yeah, just to have all the ores necessary to build the beacon when we finally decide to fight the Wither. Like I said, kind of a long way off, but really not that bad, especially not if you're willing to just chuck a bunch of rockets at the problem. But yeah, let me show you guys this. This is a really cool mesa, actually. I was super, super pleased with it. But when we finally found it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start recording and do a second channel. And yeah, there we go. Lots of really good stuff. Ooh, that's lava. But yeah, we can really start clearing this area out and collecting terracotta, and I think we're gonna use just a ton of terracotta. Whoa, haven't found this one yet. Love it. Time to get out of here. But yeah, real cool, real good option for different colors in the houses that we're going to be building. And so I thought I'd show this off to you. What is... Oh, man. I just love mesa generation. I think the whole thing is super cool. And also, high ore generation in this biome. So perfect for gathering those things. I'll be right back. Oof. Yeah, so those are all the things that have been happening between the episodes, and this is what's going to happen next episode. I haven't decided what it's going to be. I'm trying to decide between a butcher, a baker, and a tavern. If it's going to be a tavern, it's not going to be a tavern. I don't think there's enough space right here to justify tavern. I think the tavern's going to have to be a much, much bigger building. But we're going to put the entrance on the side. I know that for sure. Same basic kind of entrance as both of these houses, but facing this way. So you kind of walk in this alleyway, and then you enter through here. And then if it's a butcher, we're going to put a, one of these style huts coming out the back here, and we're going to dig it down and fill it with mud and make a pig pen out of it. And if it's a baker, we're going to use it to hide a sugarcane farm. Because while this little creeper farm is doing okay, I just took some out recently. It's not as bad as it looks. It's not great, and I don't know where. Forget I just said all that. The creeper farm's doing its job, and we're gonna need paper to go along with the gunpowder. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to be scaffolding. I can't stand scaffolding. There's no good reason for it. I just don't like it. And so, yeah, let me know in the comments what you think you'd like to see go there the most. And if you comment quickly enough before the itch heat plane overpowers me, then you might just get a say in what that becomes. But until next time, peace.